All right, welcome back. Mr. Eke Obuji, Executive Secretary, Nigerian Association of Small and Medium Enterprises, is joining me again. The Executive Secretary, that's MSME. Welcome again to you, sir. And the network has not been friendly to us in the last few minutes. Let's see what we can salvage. Um, let me get your thoughts on Mr. President's speech as to where NASME stands. When you and your colleagues heard Mr. President's speech on the palliatives for SMEs, very quickly.
Thank you very much, Nancy. We in NASME were very delighted to hear the speech of the president on palliatives for the nation as a result of the removal of fuel subsidy. You know, the impact of that removal has been very, very strong. But when we got information on the palliatives, we were very delighted. We said, okay, that's a good development. It's a welcome development.
Mm. What challenges are MSMEs facing, are most pressed with right now? Because of course we know that there are a myriad of challenges that MSMEs face in Nigeria: access to capital, infrastructure issues, a whole lot of them. But what are you and your colleagues, MSMEs, facing right now that they are most pressed as a result of the elimination of fuel subsidy? What is really holding them by the jugular the most? If you can give me just two. Not the regular ones we know, but which two?
Yeah.
Or are they still
Nancy,
being impacted?
they are heavily impacted negatively. What do I mean by that? You use the word, say, of SMEs, a lot of them, because those of them who drive their own vehicles or who use generating sets to fuel their generating sets to engage in production has become very costly, very, very costly, that some of them cannot even meet up anymore. That's the truth of the matter. And if they cannot meet up, that means they will be out of business. And when they're out of business, you know the impact or the effect on the economy. So when they close shop, they will send their staff home and all whatnot, increasing the unemployment rate in the country.
Okay, at the beginning of the program, I did also mention, according to Smidan's report for 2020, that we have about 39.4 million businesses now. That's MSMEs in Nigeria, which about 38 million of them are micro. And we've seen that decline from 2017 to about 2020, because in 2017 it was 41 million MSMEs. From your survey,
Absolutely.
or from what you've seen in the last few months, have any of your members closed shops? Do you know some of your some MSMEs that you track? Like how many may have closed shops? How many that may have right-sized or downsized, or ultimately just sacked their workers because they can't keep up, especially since the elimination of petroleum subsidy?
But the number have really increased compared with the past, especially because of the effect of, that's the truth of the matter. And I could have reasoned very, very well. Well, I'm talking of how many SMEs can provide for themselves.
Okay, it seems we're still getting this bad connection. Okay. Mr. Buji, if you can hear me, your audio
Only
is...
few of them can produce this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
I can hear you very well.
Okay, I am struggling to hear you because the connection is really fainting. Okay.
Oh,
Okay,
I
go
can
ahead.
hear you very well.
Okay, okay, if you can hear me very well, then let me ask you the question about how do you people think that the 50 billion naira for nano enterprises should be, should be executed? How do you think it should be done? I mentioned at the beginning, we saw what happened during the COVID days. How do you people think the 50 billion naira, which is for nano businesses, should be done, which would lead to 50,000 naira each to perhaps the Bolusela, the Akarasela, and all of that. Before we come to the micro point of view and the small businesses.
Yeah, the 50 billion you are talking about and the 50,000 that will go to, say, 1,300 SMEs in the 774 local governments. I can tell you outrightly, Nancy, that that amount is grossly inadequate. It's inadequate. You are an expert in this area, especially with regards to statistics. You know so much. How many nano enterprises can you share 50 billion naira to? 50 billion as a figure may look so much, but when you look at the number of people who are supposed to benefit from it, you see that it will be inadequate for them. It will be grossly inadequate. Are you talking of in a state or in a local government or a small suburban area or what? Around the country. By the way, we have 36 states. If you add the FCT, we are talking of 37 around the country. Then with 774 local governments, the wards we have in Nigeria are about 9,000 plus. If you go around the local governments we have in Nigeria, about 9,000 plus. And within those wards, you still have communities. The figure is huge. So what we'll tell the government is, please, say 50 billion for nano businesses in 772 is grossly inadequate. So our proposition will be that the government should try to increase it. Yes, the effort they made is commendable, but they still need to do more if they want this to go around.
Okay, Mr.
For the benefit of our SMEs.
If we also want to be realistic, we know that there's no how that the government can accommodate every nano business or every MSME in the country. That will run into trillions and trillions of naira, which the government does not have right now. But I also understand your position that the amount that was doled out by Mr. President is, not enough, will not be enough to cater for those businesses. Then how does the organization, for example, NASME, the small, NASI also on one side and some other associations of small businesses, how do you think you can position yourselves to be able to, for your members to get these palliatives, while not also ostracizing those that are not registered with you people to be able to also get these funds?
Yeah, firstly, for us in NASME, Nigerian Association of Small and Medium Enterprises, our basic criteria before we accept any business as a member, we have categories. You have the nano category, you have the micro, the small, the medium. And there are some basic qualifications you have to meet up with before you be accepted. Now, for our members, you must be registered with us. We have your record with us for we to even assess you and find you qualified or unqualified. But if you are a non-member of NASME, it will make it difficult for you to join us and participate. But the advantage in what you are doing, and also for the SMEs that are not even registered, is good for you as an SME to identify yourself with a registered business membership organization like NASME, NASI, and so on and so forth. So that if there are opportunities like this, it will be easier for you to join it, to partake in the process.
Okay.
It's very important.
Okay.
So if non-members now see that members are taking advantage of this, they would like to rush and register with us and have opportunity or have access to the facilities are provided by the government.
Okay.
And if you want to track such members also, it will be easier for you because you identify them with certain organizations.
Okay, very quickly, has the government reached out to your association or perhaps any other association you are in contact with concerning those palliatives? Because I'm aware I interviewed Jurin Gilali yesterday, special advisor to the president on media and publicity, and he told me that there's currently a team working on that. Has the team perhaps reached out to your organization or even other organizations of small businesses, if you know?
Yeah, we'll be waiting for Ingilale's team, but I can tell you we are quite visible. Even though our head office is in Lagos, that is where I am, we have a license office in Abuja. So, and that license office in Abuja interface with government agencies. And as I'm talking to you now, you know, the policy and tax reform committee set up by the federal government, being headed by Taiwo
Oyedele.
Yeah. Yes. They are having the inauguration
today. Yes.
In Abuja. Yes. And we are represented in that meeting. Their own is to look at the issue of tax reform.
Okay.
And we were invited to that program because of the past jobs we've done in the past, tax advocacy we've done before.
Okay, very quickly, because I'm looking at
so
our time.
So that we'll be able to make good input.
Yeah, I'm looking at our time. Okay. We have just 1 minute to go. I know that, I think you're in 26 states, if I'm not mistaken. Are you also working with state governments? Because some state governments have also started putting palliatives together for businesses in their states, because businesses are really located in states. So how is your organization working with state governments on this? Very quickly.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for that question. Yeah, the way we do that is that NASME does not just start and end in the national office, which you have in Lagos here, and Abuja, which is where the liaison office is. We are represented in the 36 states of the Federation and FCT inclusive, which makes it 37. We have strong presence. How do we have the strong presence? We have state chapters. In each state where we have presence, we have a state chapter executive, chairman, secretary, treasurer, so on and so forth. Even in some states now, we have local governments presence. You understand? Now, coming to your question, we are constantly in touch with our state chapters. So if there's any new development, they will usually let us know about it.
So is it that you don't know of any now? There's no states?
Now, Nancy, is that, you know, this palliative from the inquiries I've made, our chapter in Anambra State said the state told them that they are working something. Okay. Even in Lagos here, I'm aware that the Lagos state government is working out something, right? They've not come out openly to announce the package they have. In Akwa Ibom State, the same thing.
Okay.
They're working out. Even in Abia State, they are working out something. Alex Oti, the new governor, even included our state chapter chairman there in a program just last week.
Okay, so you mentioned Abia, Anambra, Lagos. Which other states?
What the state government want to do. Yeah.
I just got 3 states, Abia, Anambra, Lagos. Which other states did you mention?
I mentioned Akwa Ibom.
Okay.
You get Akwa Ibom.
Okay, Akwa Ibom.
Yeah.
Okay. Why I'm picking them down is that because we need to follow up on these conversations to see what the states are doing, because all eyes seems to be on the center, on President Tinubu, but the state governments also have a lot to do. Dovetailing also from the NEC meeting that was done, I think about 2 or 3 weeks ago, where Governor Soludo also talked about palliatives and taking a look at how states can come up with different things for their indigents. But I want to say many thanks for joining me on today's edition of the program. Thank you also for your patience. The internet connection has not been too friendly to us. I don't know where that is coming from, either from here or your end, but whatever it is. Thank you very much, and let's chat again soon. And keep me up to speed with whatever is happening with NASMEs regarding these palliatives. So you've heard from the ES, that's the Executive Secretary. If you are a small business, try as much as possible to also register in an association. If you don't take something away from today's show, please take that away. And the cost of preparing jollof rice is now very expensive, 12,000 naira party jollof rice standard. But in Ghana, 317 cedis, and doing the maths, in Nigerian naira, that will cost 22,000 naira to prepare a pot of jollof rice in Ghana. So Ghana is still expensive, but Ghana's inflation is over 50%. All right, that's the much we can take on today's edition of the program. I can't leave without saying what happened yesterday at the National Assembly. Former Minister Festus Keyamo yesterday did mention what he said about funds, and I did hear it was given to central bank to expend, and I was like, central bank does not expend money to individuals. That needs to be cleared, and I'm really surprised that our senators did not catch that. Was it expended to NISAL MFB to give to the 774,000 businesses across the country, or individuals across the country? The CBN perhaps will need to clarify that, or NISAL MFB, because that is what I'm assuming. But I'm Nancy Naji. Be the best you can be and be the change that you want to see. I'll see you all again tomorrow. Bye now.